Wednesday.
Happy Wine Wednesday, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members across the country. Welcome, everyone.
We have a crazy set of 4 BC Syrahs to taste today, so stay with us. There's so many exciting things we're going to chat about. It's your chance to disconnect and relax and just celebrate Wine Wednesday. Why not?
Woo-hoo-hoo. Cheers! Happy Wine Wednesday, Carl's Wine Club members, Canadian wine lovers, everybody. Syrah, Chardonnay, Ontario wine, BC wine. There is a pack show here at Carl's Wine Club, live from Summerland, BC. So welcome, everybody. How are you doing, Mira?
Pretty great. Carl Boucher, pretty great. I have to say, there's been some very exciting things happening out here in the Okanagan. Whenever there's a shakeup like we've had recently for the wine industry here, there's also so many opportunities and so many cool things that can happen. So we're seeing.
Well, that's what happened with the resilient industry, with resilient people, with so many talented and determined people, with these people coming into groups and starting to brainstorm and starting to do stuff outside the box, to do stuff to resolve some issues that were ingrained into our own industry, into our own system. So we're shaking up the house right now, and I freaking love it. We are shaking up the house, and the BC wine industry are going to come out of this situation. Very unfortunate Mother Nature event. Very unfortunate for our growers and our producers, but we're going to come out stronger out of that. That is for sure. And you know what? I am pleased. I am thrilled, and I feel so excited to be part of it, to be right in the middle of that shakeup, right in the middle of these people who try to find solutions and not sitting on our ass and just complaining and crying. No, like being part of that core of people who are just like, let's do it. And there's many of these people that we've been like gathering with for a long time already. And we knew when this very unfortunate cold event happened that some people are going to stand up. Some people are going to rise to the occasion. What happened there?
I'm just trying to fix something. Yeah, go ahead.
Woo! So yeah, some people are going to rise to the occasion. Some people are going to take the lead, and we see it happening right now. So it's an unfortunate but a very exciting time here in BC. And in the meantime, on the other side of the country, they're rocking. I mean, we tasted so many great wine last week with Vineland Estate. I don't know if you had a chance to see, if you had a chance to listen and watch our interview with the king of Cabernet Franc himself, Brian Schmidt from Vineland Estate. If you haven't a chance to see it, if you haven't a chance to listen to that interview, please take a moment sometime tonight or tomorrow or this upcoming weekend. Listen to that interview. It's 36 minutes long. I mean, from all those years for us, Mira and I, talking with producers, winemakers, owners, all of these beautiful stories, this very 36 minutes has to be at the very, very, very top of my list in the sense of intensity, emotion, but content, the truth, like it was just so cool the conversation that I had with Brian Schmidt last week, just so candid. I mean, there is no controversy in there. Like there's no, it's just a candid conversation. But what came out of that, I'm just like, it's at least on my top 3 wine interview that I ever had. It was absolutely incredible. So if you haven't had the chance to listen to it, go back from last week on either on, I don't know, it's probably on Carl's, on our VIP Facebook group or on Carl's Wine Club Facebook page, on YouTube. Get on our YouTube channel, take a look at it. It was the Wine Wednesday from last week. Awesome freaking interview. So yeah, give it a listen. It's worth it. So yeah, we tasted a bunch of fantastic wines. So I still taste in my mouth the taste of that 20-mile bench minerality of Chardonnay in the boutique vineyard Vineland from last week. I still taste it. It's such an amazing wine. All of these Cabernet Franc, the 2 side-by-side, single clone, single varietal, pre-release from the 2020 vintage. Awesome. And these amazing value wine. So last week was Vineland. Great conversation, great overall everything Ontario Canadian wines with Brian Schmidt, one of the icon of the industry. So it was always great to reconnect. And also Sunday, we sent an email, Sunday or Monday morning, and this morning. Now, this is it. This is the end of the Burnship Bay red blend. The reserve red from the 2020 vintage is going up in price. It's already went up on price on their website. They launched the wine finally. For the last month and a half, it was exclusive to Carl's Wine Club members, and they launched it at $25. And we still have it for $19.95 until tonight. And I'm bringing the point because this wine for $5 off, it's a heck of a freaking wine at that price point. So anyway, if you want to stock up on an incredible value wine that we launched at $19.95 and now has been released to the public at $24.95, it's time to get on the link that Mira is going to put in the comments in a few minutes. I know she's absolutely here smoking, fuming with something's happening with the tech here, and she's like, so yeah. Anyway,
but yes, here's the Burnship reserve red.
So Mira, do you have any? Do you still have feedback, or you're right here?
No, I'm good. That was just because I was trying to add. So Facebook has been a little finicky today, as it is once in a while.
Yeah, I know. I noticed like there was absolutely no new. There was no listener until for the first 4 or 5 minutes. So
interesting, hey? Yeah. So what I have in front of me, Carl Boucher, is very exciting.
What you have in front of you is very, very interesting, very unique, very special, in very small quantity. We won't see that for the next couple of years. That's for sure. This is the last of an era in BC here, especially with that grape varietal. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes, but I just wanted to wrap up in the Ontario side for now. I mean, did we taste anything like outstanding after the all of the Vinelands from Ontario? Is anything that we cracked? So last Friday we had our course with all of our BC winery, an amazing get together, by the way. Look at that. Alison Moyes, winemaker and general manager at Solvero in the Garnet Valley, hosted our group and our group 11 wineries that we teach DTC course every month. We all gather at Solvero, brand new location in the Garnet Valley. And what a great day we had, eh, Mira?
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
Man,
so what happened is these wineries in BC here have had disaster after disaster. And back in 2021, the government actually announced a good chunk of cash directed at disaster recovery for all Okanagan businesses because they were affected by wildfires and COVID. And so I've stumbled upon these grants and I said, we should access these grants. And that's what we're doing to help wineries kind of better communicate who they are, their stories directly, as well as what we do in Carl's Wine Club. So yeah, that's what we're up to with these guys. And look at that, like Garnet Valley. We've been there twice this last week. We went for that course and then we went snowmobiling because there is enough snow out there in parts of it.
Yeah, exactly. What a great thing. So my point to that was, so we tasted some amazing wines in our lunchtime. So we had obviously, Allison put out some of our rosé for us to taste, our Pinot Gris at Solvero. So the group tasted all that. Rob Hammersley from Black Market Wine Company, that you guys, friend of the show. I mean, if you guys follow Carl's Wine Club now for a while, you know about Black Market. Rob and Michelle at Black Market's been a staple of Carl's Wine Club for a very long time. And Rob is launching very soon a amber Gewürztraminer, or a skin contact, let's put it that way, skin contact Gewürztraminer, a wine, a geeky wine, a wine with intrigue, a wine so complex. We had so much fun tasting that. So we tasted his skin contact Gewürztraminer with the group, and I brought some Cabernet Franc from Vineland that we already had open from the week with Vineland, and now we had all of our winemakers and winery owners super excited to taste Mr. Cabernet Franc wines, and like that was that chat about the whole Pan Canadian. So yeah, that was a great. There you go. That's our crew from Niagara last year. Here is our the host of the night, and some very, very, very special wines. Two of my favorite peeps here, Richard De Silva and Marcel Morgenstern. Marcel was our host last year, and we're right in the midst right now. I mean, I am over my head on so many projects, while Mira is teaching the whole freaking Canadian wine industry so many aspects of DTC and being so busy with that. I'm in the middle of that Pan-Canadian, putting the lineup together for the Pan-Canadian, finalizing all of the detail. Also finalizing some details about a very unique tasting that we're going to do in Toronto in April the 25th. 25th, I think. Sorry, I had to. April 25th at the Wine Conservatory in Toronto. We're going to host a very, very exclusive and very unique tasting of some of the top iconic Canadian wines, back vintage, all the way back to the early 2010, like 2012, 2014. So side by side with an iconic international wines. We're going to do that in collaboration with l'Académie du Vin and Marc Nadeau. So in Toronto in April is very, very, very exciting as well. So Mira?
Yeah, so this is very super cool. But let's get back to the subject in hand, because I just put my nose in this Syrah.
Okay. Sorry, that was my review of the week is a little too long. Let's jump into
very favorite wines. But no, Elaine brings up a good point. Can you help us understand what we mean by a horizontal, which I thought that's what we're doing right now. Is this a horizontal?
Yeah, because when you taste wine, you can taste it two different ways, horizontally or vertically. So when you do a vertical, usually you'll do a vertical of the same vintage, right? Wait a minute. Horizontal.
I know, I always mix them up, right?
Yeah, and I wasn't ready for that. So
different vintages of the same wine.
No, a vertical, when you do a vertical of wine, is when you taste wine from the same varietal, same producer, from different vintages, right? And when you do an horizontal wine, you will do usually the real definition of an horizontal will be from the same vintage, same grape varietals, and different producers. Like you can do it that way, or you can do like if you have a very special producer like Rust Wine Co. and does multiple different single sites. Well, now you can taste all of the same vintage, same grape varietal, but from different sites. So vertically, horizontally, you taste the same wine, the same wine from the same vintage, from the same producer. Or if you do the vertical, you taste from the different vintage, the same varietals, and obviously sometimes the same sites as well. So I think Mr. John Smith is not very happy.
Yeah, I'll find out what's going on there.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think that what's exciting about a horizontal like this is we did this a couple years ago with Rust, right?
It's our
With their
second
Syrahs.
time. It's our second time.
And it's so interesting. I mean, the Similkameen, from what I remember, had just such a floral nose compared to some of the other ones. And the fact that it's the same, like it just gives you an insight into what the sites more so than anything, right? How the climate affected those specific sites.
Yeah, I have. So okay, so let's get back to it. I don't know if you can, if you have the power of your superpower can lead us to a quick research, Mira, and see which vintage of the Syrah Discovery Pack we've done, the Syrah Terroir Pack we've done with Rust. I believe that was the 2018 vintage, but I might be wrong. It might be the 2019 though. So, but 2 years ago we did the same thing. So Rust produced, but back then was only three different sites, three different sub appellations that Rust has single vineyard in different areas of the south of the Okanagan Valley and in the Okanagan and the Similkameen. So what they do, same winemaking, same barrel program, same. The only thing would change, it's the date of harvest. They harvest obviously each site at a different time to maximize the optimal ripeness, and they will pick the grapes at optimal ripeness. But all of the rest, it's the exact same process for each and every site from the same vintage, 100% Syrah. So this year again, we have the privilege. We are so lucky to have such an amazing relationship with Ryan DeWitt, the winemaker at Rust, and Jeff Undermark, the director of winemaking for Montboucherie and Rust, to have us again to do that Syrah Terroir Discovery Pack. And it's coming next week. And we have the very tough job, Mira and I, the incredibly tough and hard work of tasting these wines, first and foremost, to describe them to you and to score them. So next Monday, when you wake up on Monday, or maybe Sunday night, we'll see how our weekend goes. But you wake up on Monday morning and you'll have that beautiful offer in your inbox and all of the scores and all of the description of these four, not three anymore, but four Syrah from the south of the Okanagan and the Similkameen Valley. 2020 vintage, known as a warm, bold vintage, very complete vintage, not many flaws, no smoke, very well regarded for anonymously, like pretty much all of the wine critics, all of the wine, everyone who's in the wine industry will agree that 2020 in the south of the Okanagan is a very clean vintage, long developing, warmer than usual. So it screams growing Syrah in a very high level. So these four sites are, well, single site. You have the single site of the Golden Miles. So a small vineyard where Rust, it's the home vineyard of Rust Winery. So that's the Golden Mile site. You also have the Okanagan Falls site. You also have, that's usually, you don't see a whole lot of Syrah coming out of of Okanagan Falls. Okanagan Falls, very known for Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Rieslings. Syrah, not a ton. I know one other producer who makes Syrahs in Okanagan, a couple others, but Shea Code at Cold Wine makes a tiny small batch of Syrah from his own vineyard in Okanagan Falls. But well, okay, so that's there's a one single vineyard, Okanagan Falls. There's also one single vineyard, Similkameen Valley, and the other one, it's called the Okanagan Valley Syrah, but it's from a Black Sage Bench single vineyard. So there is the 4 single site Syrah that we have in our Discovery Terroir pack coming up on Monday, and I haven't tasted them. I give it a smell, and they already, 3 of them smells very different. There's 2 a little bit similar, but 3 are very, 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 very distinctive. Let's put it that way. What's your first impression after smelling them? Do you had a chance to taste it?
Not all of them, no. So I wanted to say, so I'm just looking to try and find the notes from last time. So the 2018s is what I have. What vintages are these?
2020.
Okay.
These are the 20s.
So yeah, that would probably make sense if it's been a couple years. So the 18s, though, I don't have your scores. I only have Rick Van Sickle's scores.
We just started back then, I guess. And I remember that was a very last minute thing. That was a very, very last minute thing that we did.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So I have to dig up what transpired those 2 years ago. We were still pretty young in the club, and I think we only got access to what, like 36 3-packs or something like that at the time. Just similar to this time, but this time we've had obviously more time with you guys as we do tonight to try them out. So, have you shown?
And also, well, before we start with that, we have a Chardonnay, because Rust also make a Chardonnay from their home site on the Golden. Is it? It is. I believe that's the Golden Mile site. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, single clone 76 from the 2021 vintage. So that's the appetizer of the pack. And we've been tasting it for a couple nights now, and this is a very well developed, a very well rounded. There's 40% new oak in there. To me, it's a little classic South Okanagan. It's round, it's plush. That's that oak influence that I know that the House of Rust really like to use. And yeah, like, it's plush. I mean, it's big. It's big but balanced. Very, very important here. I really like that Chardonnay. To me, I give it a 91 points. I mean, this can compete on blind side. If I put a couple of different Myers, that Myers family are very known for their Chardonnay, that can go side by side, and I have no problem to get that Chardonnay a very, very, it's very high regarded. Like, to my opinion, fantastic Chard.
So you said the Chard is Golden Mile. I have to say, I have sniffed out the Syrahs. Okay, I can't wait that long. And the Golden Mile Syrah, to me, has the strongest nose. It's just got the most strong kind of aromas.
It's a 1990 planting. They don't tell me here on the bottle which single. I need to do. Oh yeah, it's a lost one. So it's OK Falls, huh? See?
Oh,
it's OK Okanagan Falls. And I'm
So the
comparing with
Chardonnay,
Meyer a little bit, right? And I'm like, okay, because there's that frame of minerality after the oak profile that I really, really, really enjoyed. That's what triggered my mind to Myers in the whole thing. And yeah, so Okanagan Falls vineyard here. So I really enjoyed that Chardonnay. It's going to be part of the pack. We also will have in that offer available the flagship wine from Ross. It's called Solus. Solus is a blend of, I believe, Zinfandel at 30%, because Ross is one of the only producer of Zinfandel in the Okanagan. And there's Zinfandel, I believe there's Syrah and Merlot in that blend. There's 4 or 5 great varietals, but lead by a nice 30% of Zinfandel. So very intriguing wine. So it's going to be part of it. Stay tuned. I'm probably going to taste that wine live early next week, something like that. But yeah, and very exciting. So Mira has been digging into those Syrahs, and she said that the Golden Miles have the strongest nose. Mira.
well, on the Syrah, yeah, a quick horizontal of the horizontal. I don't know. To me, the Golden Mile is
Definitely to me, the Similkameen, okay. Okanagan Fall. I'm just trying to which one is which. I believe, right? You have, yeah, I think the Okanagan Valley. So the Black Sage Bench to me has the most floral notes on the 2020 vintage.
Yeah.
Fairly floral. That one is a little bit a standalone on term of the nose. I haven't tasted anyone yet. Any other yet? Similkameen Valley, lots of fruit on the nose, and there's a charcoal kind of graphite frame in the middle.
Yeah,
so definitely some sweet dark cherry on the nose on the Okanagan, on the Similkameen Valley. I really freaking love that nose. I'll tell you one thing.
So Similkameen is actually outside of the Okanagan.
Yeah, it's kind of an arm of the Okanagan, right? Like it's like so west,
it's green there on the map, kind of in the middle, like that dark green, the Similkameen, and the Okanagan is everything to the right of that there. So I often think of the Similkameen as part of the Okanagan, but technically it's not. So we have Similkameen, and then these other ones are from where? Golden Mile is down South Okanagan.
Oh, so Golden Mile is at Oliver, and it's the home site of the winery.
Yeah.
Okanagan Falls.
Yeah, are central, right?
Yeah, you can consider Okanagan Falls can be like the entrance of the South Okanagan, right? So like when you get, it's just before Okanagan Fall will be just before the McIntyre Bluff. So a little bit different, like a lot different terroir, very, very different. You're like, it's rocky, it's steep cliff and all of that. While when you pass the McIntyre Bluff, well, it's flat land and it's desert. It's the desert down there. So in terms of terroir, the two closest from each other's is the Golden Miles and the Black Sage Bench. So the Golden Mile and the Okanagan bottle. So because there's no sub-appellation Black Sage Bench, so that's why they call that one the Okanagan Valley. It's VQA Okanagan Valley, while the Golden Mile is VQA Golden Mile. But there's only Highway 97 who split the both. One, the Golden Mile is facing the cliff of that little mountain when we drive all the way down on your right. And the Black Sage Bench, that's that strip, much more sandier soil. Sandy soil, where Black Hills, Phantom Creek, Le Vieux Pin, Desert Hills, Burrowing Owl.
Black Sage Bench, I mean, you would think Syrah grows well there because Syrah does like its sand, doesn't it? And I think they say that you can dig like a ridiculous amount down on the Black Sage Bench in the sandy areas.
There's some spot on the Black Sage Bench you can dig like 200-300 feet down, and it's still sandy. So the Black Sage usually will provide you with a little bit more peppery Syrah. Like a little bit, the spice, it's a little bit more pronounced. The Golden Mile will provide you with a bigger, juicier, fruity aspect. And I'm interested to see the Similkameen, because we just come off of our feature with the Clos du Soleil, a vineyard, a winery in the Similkameen Valley, and their Syrah is absolutely fantastic. There's some finesse in there, but there's some heat. There's such a big diurnal difference between the hot day in the Similkameen and also the colder night with the bright acidity. And there's a very, very noticeable minerality. So to my opinion, what I'm expecting, it's Okanagan Falls and Similkameen Valley might be a little bit similar, but very different, but a little closer. And the Golden Miles and the Black Sage Bench, well, might be a little closer. So that's how I would split it before tasting them. So yeah, that's what we have here. So I don't know if you guys want me to start tasting it and give my first impression, but we can talk about other things, because I have a bunch of other things I want to talk about. So am I just teasing here, or maybe we can wait until...
Here's a fun teaser. We received boxes and boxes of bulk wine samples from Ontario because we are helping Okanagan wineries, BC wineries, discover the beauty of what there is in Ontario. And if they're not going to have a crop this year and they've got to use wine from elsewhere, well, we'd love to see them use Ontario wine before they use like Chilean wine or something. So yeah, we have these great samples, and there is some Syrah from Ontario that arrived. There you go. So this is pretty cool.
I have, I think, 5 different samples of Syrah. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I have over like around 50 people, 50 different wineries tomorrow going to stop by at the Okanagan Cottage in Penticton to see us and taste some bulk wines from Ontario to see maybe it's going to be, might be an option for the 2024 vintage. For some blending purposes, if some of our producer would like to keep everything Canadian. So we're trying that tomorrow. We're going to meet with a lot of people. So it's a very exciting day tomorrow. I'm really thrilled about that, to build these relationships and to show, because I mean, as much as Ontario people, unless they move across the country because they wanted to make wine in BC, I mean, there's not a ton, even in the wine industry, the winemakers, the wine runner, they don't know a ton here in BC about the quality of the juice from Ontario. And that's funny because we traveled a couple of years in a row with BC winemakers to Ontario, Mira, right? And we got the first time we take them with us and we have them to tour with us and taste these exceptional wines from Ontario. The first thing they say when they come back, holy shit, I didn't know they were making wine that good out there. Isn't it true? Every time. It happened every single time. So yeah, so now we're bringing Ontario wines here, some bulk product to see what we can do in the future. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow, but just to see that, right? Come on. Like Syrah, like different samples of Syrahs, it will be really, really cool to crack that open.
Very cool. Can't wait. It'll be a fun day tomorrow. So let's taste these bad boys, shall we?
Okay, I'm going to taste the Golden Mile to start, okay? The Golden Mile will be my first sip of that Go ahead.
And for any particular reason?
Because it was the first one on the left.
All right. Perfect.
First one on the left, and there's a gold, and there's a no, this one is not the.
Yeah, so they all have different colors. That's how.
Yeah, Golden Mile is the orange one. Okay. Orange one. Let me get you some information here. Vineyard planted in 2002. 33% new oak, 18 months, harvested in October 22nd versus October 28th for the Black Sage Vineyard. So Black Sage Bands harvested 6 days later than the Golden Mile.
And they're so close together. Yeah.
There's just a freaking highway who split both, right? I mean, there's less than 10-minute drives between the two vineyards. That's for sure.
Yes, Elaine, you should come right over. I agree.
Okay. So, Golden Mile. Oh, there's some spice in there. Ooh. So Golden Mile, lots of blueberries, like blueberry jam, dark cherry also. I got some sweet tobacco leaves. Nice tannin.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a round and
the texture of that one.
Yeah, super soft, eh? Soft. And I know I'm right in your wheelhouse right now. I know. Like I can see, like you just did, like, whoa. This is right in your wheelhouse. So, and on the other side of the highway, on the Black Sage Bands, is the Ferreira Vineyard. And yeah, on the nose, it's much more floral.
So now we're talking Okanagan Valley, because this is the one that doesn't have its own sub-appellation yet. Black Sage. Lorna, hey.
So the Okanagan Valley, oh yeah, the spice start much earlier after the mid palate, not only like tinkle at the end of the, no, it's right part of the second half of the wine. Lots of spice, more savory. Much more savory. You got the dry herbs who takes over after the mid palate. In terms of fruit, it's black raspberry, like dark raspberry, very ripe. There's maybe a little bit of blackberry in there, but not as much as the blueberry. There's maybe a little bit like a smoky feature, not smoky. There's no smoke in 2020, but I mean smoky in a sense, maybe a little bit of barbecue sauce in the Ferreira, in the Black Sage Bands. But dominant to me, the biggest feature and highlight on the Ferreira, on the Okanagan Valley, the yellow wax. It's the savoriness and the spice, savory and spicy, versus soft and fruity for the Golden Mile. If I do a quick flash couple, so that would be my, eh?
You're so right. I mean, they're very, very different, these two. And
yeah.
You're so right. It's salty, savory, like you think of totally different things than the more fruity, round kind of.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna go right in the middle here with my other two, where it's the baby blue from the Similkameen Valley versus the purple from Okanagan Falls. A couple years ago, Okanagan Falls absolutely blew my socks off. I tasted it on the late and was really, really, really surprising. This is the last edition of the four, I would say, because Golden Mile, Okanagan Valley, and Similkameen Valley was part of the core 3 single vineyard that Russ are doing since the very beginning. Okanagan Falls was a late addition into the Discovery Terroir Syrah pack. So now I'm going to do Similkameen Valley, where October 15th, date of harvest. So we talk about 12 days earlier than the Black Sage bench. And October 28th of the Black Sage bench, so 16 days. So there's a big difference here.
which tells us that probably Similkameen Valley had in that specific.
A little bit higher in elevation for the Similkameen Valley, 420-meter high where the vineyard is. So I love the fruit. There's a beautiful dark cherry on the nose. Mm. Sorry, I just tasted the Okanagan Falls. Made a mistake. Okanagan Falls, it's much more elegant, lighter in style, brighter in minerality. That charcoal definitely pops. Not heavy as fruit, much lighter on its feet, much more. Yeah, it dense. This wine dense, like it's fairly. It's a lighter style.
Ooh.
Right, elegant, feminine, elegant.
Yes.
Okay, and let's go here with the Similkameen. Holy jeez, yeah, Similkameen, dark fruit, dark cherry.
This reminds me almost of like more Appassimento style. Like it's definitely on the dark fruits. Similkameen. I mean, Similkameen. Let me get this picture of Carl in the Similkameen. It is like National Geographic mountains with cacti. It's
the tannin.
Same thing.
Like this is the bigger, the boldest. I think the most complex. Oh, the finish. It doesn't stop. The finish is so long. A mix of spice, of minerality, just a hint of savoriness, but not too much. Lots of ripe fruit in the mid palate. Yeah, I love that minerality.
So this is the Similkameen. I mean, this is up. Charlie Basler at Corselet's was kind enough to take us up on his quad to see this view, and he said you're going to need a cactus, plier, because if you get a cacti in your shoe, it's going to go right through the heel and get stuck in your foot, and you'll need a special pliers to get it out. It's that kind of rugged place. But like you said, this particular year, 2020, right?
Yeah.
Was harvested earlier. So maybe that elevation in the Similkameen kind of gave it a boost.
Harvested the 15th, 28th for the Black Sage Bench, 21st for the Okanagan Valley, and 22nd for the Golden Mile. So Similkameen was harvested a full week before the other three. So yeah, 28 versus 15. So 13 days, 2 weeks prior to the Black Sage Bench.
So Mike knows the area. Mike's saying that's K Mountain that's in behind you in that picture.
If the average wine enthusiast say it, I say yes, Mike. The guy's my idol. The guy's is a freaking genius. So he's the best in the biz.
I'm curious how you know that, Mike. Did you go hiking up there? Because I think this would be spectacular to go hiking up there. I actually think at some point what we need to do is go up to this spot where Carl was. This is my dream one day, with a bunch of members and have like a tasting up there.
I'm up for that.
And bring like some crazy things, like, I don't know, fresh stuff.
Yeah, I have to say, all of these wines are all fine, unfiltered, all have 18 months in 18 months in French and Hungarian oak. All of these 4 wines have 33% of oak, 18 months. I mean, it's all the same process. The only difference is they are harvested a little at a different date. Wow, they're very different. And shit, that's Similkameen. Wow. Okay, that Similkameen Valley Syrah is something else. Fuck me. Woo. The finish does not, like, it's so long. It lingers. I love that minerality. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So that's my favorite of the four so far. And not, I would say by a wide margin, but this wine will be rated very high. I'll tell you one thing. This Similkameen Valley Syrah will be rated very high. One thing, these wines coming as a whole, we can pick and choose. This has to come all four together. You'll be able to add a couple of extras, but they come all together. So
because there's just such little amounts left.
Well, there's such. I think we have, to be honest, I think we have 48 packs available. So and it's coming, and we can do something tonight, though. We can do something tonight. The people who are listening, who are fan of Syrahs and fan of incredible Syrah experience, and you would like to reserve yours, shoot us a note, because this will go out like hotcake. This is gonna go out in a flash. So just telling you.
So Lorna's saying tonight is like wine porn. And I really
say
like
that loud. Can you say it louder, please?
No, I don't want our video to get taken down. But I love that idea because
hey, if any of the videos had to be taken down, it would have been taken down a while ago, okay? But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff dreams are made of for wine lovers, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
When I saw this, like literally, I just pictured it. I was like, oh, okay, being up there on a warm day, not too hot, but they actually planted vines up right where we were there. So there's actually a vineyard.
And just, okay, I will give you a couple numbers, Mira, here. Okay. Similkameen Valley has 14.8% alcohol compared to 14% for the others. And it was harvested a full week, or in some case 2 weeks earlier. So it gives you an idea of how developed these grapes were in October, when they pulled the plug to harvest that very single vineyard. Say, no, it's time to go now. We don't want to have that wine overripe. Man, that they did a great job. Holy shit, that it's good. Wow. And if I look at the elevation, it's the highest vineyard of the fourth as well in the Similkameen. So
it is really cool what they do with their labels. This is probably the most detailed labels we've ever seen. Hey, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Can
you hold
and it's clear. It's clear. Like it's like you don't have to read through text. It's very it's snapshot, right?
So here's the Chardonnay. You should hold one of the Syrahs up, but basically they give you a ton of little facts. This is the back label. That's not the front. Like they tell you when it was harvested. They tell you the elevation. It's because you're comparing the four Syrahs as a kind of horizontal across the same vintage, but 4 different sites, 4 different locations. It's kind of neat to have those different facts, right? You kind of go, oh, well, here's the big differentiator, right? So maybe leads to what the flavor differences are like coming from, right? Oh no, we're getting into the dirty jokes part of the evening.
I'll stop myself to comment on anything here. I'm just one comment away to get a slap on the wrist after the show.
So basically, like you can tell what Carl likes because he rates things, all proper and all. You can tell what I like because it disappears faster. And the Similkameen and the Golden Mile right now are really hitting the spot.
Well, we're on the same page. These two are my 2 leader in the clubhouse. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, the Similkameen will have a very high score. A very high score.
Jeez. I was looking at the last time we did this in 2018, and we've got to find your notes, Carl, because I'm pretty sure you did them. In our archive, I only have Rick Van Sickle's scores, but he did give one of them, let me see which one, a 94 points. So this was the 2018.
The Okanagan Falls was my highest rated.
For that one. Okay,
yep.
So I'll tell you what, geez, a lot of wineries have rust in their names or tasting notes. So Rick Van Sickle had given the Okanagan Valley Black Sage Bench 94 points.
94?
Yeah. And he had given the Golden Mile Bench 93 in 2018. And he had given Similkameen 92. And that's all I have notes for.
Yeah, because the Okanagan Valley was not available then.
Right. That's why. Okay.
There was only 3, and I got a bottle of the Okanagan Valley later on. So anyway.
So Daryl's asking wine alcohol percentage for which ones? All of them? Tell us all.
So yeah, so the Okanagan, Golden Mile, the Okanagan Falls are 14.0, so 14 on the dot. The Black Sage Bench, so Okanagan Valley, one, the yellow wax at 14.3, and the Similkameen Valley is at 14.8. So
basically, you're telling me that.
Yes, I do.
Golden Mile again. Golden Mile's 14.
Golden Mile and Okanagan Falls both are at 14.0 on the dot.
Okay. So So I like
2 at 14.0, 1 at 14.3, and 1 at 14.8. So talking about porn and high alcohol, yeah, it's a very fitting night. I mean, we're going to right places here. I love where it's going.
Yeah. So you're telling me my favorite one has the highest amount of alcohol. Okay.
Yeah, the same here. High five here. Yeah, no, okay, like Similkameen, it's incredible. Absolutely freaking incredible. My highest rated wine this year, it's the Syrahs Merlot. This is right up there. This is right up there. Right up there with the Syrahs Merlot. In terms of the best wine that I've tasted this year. Yeah. And we've tasted some pretty good wine. I mean, like, we went through a full lineup of Mavericks. We went through a full, we already feature some pretty spectacular wine this year. And yeah, this is right at the top of the top wine that I've tasted this year.
We're on a bit of a
absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with you. Top 10 candidate. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
This year has started out very strong, both on the value wine front and on the high scores front. I don't know how it's happening. I think it's because we built relationships with people and they're letting us have some of their really special stuff.
Well, we also been a little bit more selective and demanding. And I would say, like, demanding on what we're looking for, just not taking what the winery wants to give us out of the gate. Oh yeah, here is my new release. No, we're getting a little more. We want to offer our member more than current release and more than just we want to go. We really want to hit the special stuff. And I know there's a lot of special stuff out there that we don't have the chance to get our hands on. There's also often, like, the expression from Clos du Soleil, 100 cases made, wine club exclusive from Clos du Soleil. I mean, if you're not one of the 300 people member at Clos du Soleil, or a friend of these people that you get a bottle once every 5 years for your birthday, you don't get to taste that. You don't get that. You know what I mean? So these are pretty rare stuff. So that's that's the cool thing that we like now having that in the lineup. And I was instructed by the team at Ross that these wines are not going to be available for multiple years anymore. Ross are not going to have many Syrahs available for the next 10 years.
10?
Two of their 4 vineyards are dead. Right?
Whoa, 10?
Yeah.
Seriously,
I mean,
10?
the time that they rip the vineyard out, the time that they replant, they're probably not going to replant Syrah anyway. So this is a dying breed. What we have here with the reality of what's happening now, how like the wineries are going to replant differently. Patches where Syrah dies, they're they're going to protect their investment. They're probably going to plant something else. I mean, I'm guessing here. I'm talking. It's not Jeff Undermark talking to me. I'm not quoting anybody, but that's my 2 cents. So, and I know for a fact, though, I was told that these wines are not going to be available.
At least not for the next few years. But your guess is 10?
Yeah. Oh, or if ever.
Whoa. That's sad.
So yeah. So we have 4 wines here who are extremely special, show completely different. Like there's none of these wines who are ever even close to be similar. They are very, 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 very different.
So
I have Okanagan Valley here. Okanagan Valley, it's very delicate.
So this is what the perfect horizontal we should have done when I was first learning about wine, and all wines tasted the same at the time because I didn't have a very well-trained palate. So I was just like, well, it's red and it's wine. But this is like the perfect thing if you're trying to differentiate between things. I mean, it's the same vintage, and yet each site is so different. So different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daryl, I'm sorry for all the teasing tonight. All the teasing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can, because you guys have been like, if you guys want to shoot us a note and say, yeah, save 1 or 2 for me, we will. But this is going to be a hot item next week. That's for sure. That's for sure. Wow, they're so different.
There's a part of me that really wishes we could do more in terms of stockpiling some of these things, because I feel like when we're meeting in 5 years or 10 years at one of our member events, it would be pretty fun to pull out, a case of these older vintages and see what they age like. We're relying on you guys to stockpile some stuff, and then when we have those kinds of tastings, we'll find a way to compensate you for something from your cellar.
Yeah, so we have some highly rated wines. We have some very rare wine in here. Yeah, this is pretty spectacular. Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo.
It's 607.
It's 607.
Earlier.
I need to rinse my mouth here with a nice Clone 76 Chardonnay.
Yeah, so we realized that it's the same clone of Chardonnay as the Vineland. We should have really had them side by side last week when we had the Vineland Clone 76 open. Darn it, missed opportunity.
We didn't have these wines. The Russ wine were not in the house. I just got them over the weekend, right?
Okay. I don't feel
so. Yeah. Bad. So here you go. 607. I mean,
here's something random. We got to go snowmobiling, and it's my first time on a snowmobile. Okay, I was not born in Canada. I was born and raised in Europe, but this guy, born and raised in northern Quebec. It's like he grew up on a snowmobile. It was pretty fun.
So it was fun. Well, I didn't have the privilege to push that little magic thumb here, and like to go a little bit. I had the Carl, don't do it. Carl, don't do it. Carl,
Oh yeah,
stop
I
it.
didn't want to get thrown off with the kids on there. Because he started to go really fast and stuff, and we had like no helmets. Anyway, it was pretty cool in the back country of Garnet Valley near that winery that we were at. But my point is that how amazing is it to have Syrah by the fire in the winter? Like when you're talking snowmobiles and Canadiana, like there's nothing more Canadian to me than a gorgeous red wine and a fire and the winter.
So are you telling me that I have to go outside now and make a fire?
Well, it's getting a little late, but that would be nice. Sure. Or we've got one inside that flips on with a switch.
Yeah, it doesn't smell the same though.
That works too.
Let's get back to our wine conversation because we're almost done here. Pan Canadian Wine Masterclass 2.0 BC edition. Just a quick reminder, June 15th at Esther Creek. We got a few confirmation of wines this week. Rob Hammersley at Black Market Company will feature the 2022 Pinot Blanc from the Convention Ridge, the Conviction Ridge vineyard in Caledon, so the home vineyard at Black Market. So we're going to have a really terroir driven, like the classic Pinot Blanc BC, but made Black Market style with that little touch of oak that Rob likes to, who's like, to me, that's the signature Hammersley's, that little oak touch here on the Pinot Blanc. So I'm excited. So we have that one confirmed. We have the Painted Rock 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon, part of my top 10 wine of the year, confirmed. We have from Klaus and Chase, Keith Dyer is going to join us. He confirmed he's traveling across the country, will be with us here in BC, and we will be tasting a 95-point Chardonnay, the 2021 Churchside Vineyard Chardonnay. So that was confirmed this week. I also had confirmed with Marcel Morgenstern and Lou Puglisi their non-released 2020 Cabernet Appassimento, that this wine will absolutely flip some lid off of people. This wine to finish a tasting with 12 or 13 wines with that Appassimento to finish. That's going to be some fires. I will tell you one thing. So it's going to be pretty awesome. What else? Which other wine do we have confirmed this week? I think it's pretty much it.
Well, I have to say something. I can't say who's involved or how or what, but there is potentially a collaboration between a BC and Ontario winery that might be premiered in some fashion at the Pan Canadian.
Stay tuned for that.
Quite a bit 2 years ago at our member reunion that there should be a Pan Canadian wine. We talked about it last year at the Pan Canadian. It's happening, guys. It's happening. These grape crop losses in BC have prompted even further to get us to make that idea real.
We're talking some firework coming up. We're talking some firework, some Pan Canadian firework. I can't wait to tell the world what we are up to with some amazing collaboration. This is the most exciting time that I ever had been in that industry. So yeah,
so much fun. So I do want to end with something that just came in from Jeff in Ottawa. Okay, he sent us a nice note just now, and it's about the Reserve Red. Okay, so Burnt Ship Bay is a brand that same winemaker, same people, some of the same vineyards as Bella Terra, our #1 members winery of the year a couple years ago. And they make Burnt Ship Bay, which is mainly found in liquor stores across Ontario. It is a lost leader in my mind. It is exceptional value for what you get in the bottle. $15.95 for three of the wines here, and $19.95 for the Reserve Red 2020. It ends tonight though, because when they actually released it to the public, it was $24.95. So this is our $5 off a bottle. Ridiculous deal. Jeff,
I mean, $5 a bottle when the bottle costs $65, $70, it's not that much of a big deal. But $5 off when it's $25,
this is 20%. It's unheard of. So here's what Jeff from Ottawa had to say. Okay, he ordered it a few weeks ago, like many people have, and then we've had people ordering like, okay, send me 2 cases of that one. That is ridiculous value. So he says, Jeff says, Carl, thanks for the reminder that it's ending tonight. I hadn't opened the Reserve Red until now. Wow. Had I tasted the wine blind, I would have guessed the price was in the $30 to $40 range. I ordered another case tonight. We're really enjoying the club. Keep up the great work. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. This is a great point, because how many times you and me are saying it, like we blind taste each other, and we often talk about, we always bring the price in our conversation very early in the conversation. And yeah, when you see a $5 off, it's usually for a very high price wine that, okay, that it doesn't mean a ton of thing, $5 off. At that price point, $5 off, often is like, is it something wrong with that wine? Or is it because it's the end of the stock and they just want to move on? No, it's pre-release. This wine, when did you see a wine on sale before release? That's the kind of relationship we have with the winery.
It was not like they hadn't set the price yet. So we're like, so you'll give us the price of last year. And they're like, it's going to be higher than last year. But they didn't know exactly how much higher yet. So yeah, that's the advantage of
Carl's Wine Club. Yeah, so I mean, 4 world-class Syrah from the same producer, same winemaker, same winemaking, everything, but 4 different places in the Okanagan, in the south of BC. Okanagan, Similkameen. That's what we would have tasting tonight. This offer is coming into your inbox either Sunday night or Monday. Get ready for it. Don't wait until the end, because you might have a bad news saying, sorry, we're sold out. That will...
This is the last of the Syrahs in this kind of capacity. Like to have
2 of the 4 vineyards are are dead. So I mean,
and you're saying your highest score is most likely going to be what?
95.
95.
Between 92 and 95. That's what I have here.
What we just tasted.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking
maybe awesome. I mean, I say that it's preliminary, right? And I don't know. Might go up. Like we'll see it like tomorrow morning when we do the most in-depth. When I do my most in-depth tasting, it's usually the day after, early in the morning. So that might be something high. I don't know, but at this point, that's 95 points. At this point. Okanagan Valley, Similkameen Valley Syrah 2020, absolutely fucking blew my socks off. Incredible. So yeah, so stay tuned. We'll give you a little bit more information. Follow our social media all weekend. Join our YouTube channel. All of the whole 9 yard. We're gonna be keeping you posted. Tomorrow I might be posting some tidbits here and there while I'm meeting with the whole Okanagan Valley industry with Ontario samples. That's going to be tomorrow all day long. And Friday, a nice tasting at the Okanagan Crush Pad coming up with some new staff who comes from Ontario, actually. The new direct-to-consumer manager is coming from Ontario, from Foreign Affair Winery. So it's nice to see some pan-Canadian people who works in the industry coming out west to work at the Okanagan Crush Pad. And probably some impromptu stop at a couple wineries over the weekend. But stay tuned. We have a lot coming your way. But yeah, Mira, do you have anything else to add?
I think we're good. I think it's been an amazing evening chatting wine with you guys. Like Lorna said, it's kind of your wine escape on a Wednesday. Just chatting things to do with wine and wine porn.
Yeah, absolutely. I love
So funny.
that.
So yeah, lots of good things coming up. And I guess we'll be back on next Wednesday unless we get so excited tomorrow tasting bulk wines. We've never done that before. These are like unfinished wines. Who knows what some of these wines will end up in? Like a BC Ontario blend of sorts.
Yeah, so a lot going on, guys. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with you, Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, Mira Boucher.
Carl Boucher. So great to see you guys. Cheers.
Cheers. See you next time.